popping, y'all? We are back with another episode of the Squid Game. Where are they at now? Podcast. And today's guest, man, this man on the show, he was a little bit of a bully. He was, pushing people to take other shapes, and he was actually the king of the Triangle or the Star Crew. He saved his whole group from disaster. He saved pretty much everyone from disaster, from keep having to make hard decisions. So this was kind of the man with the plan of action in that case. He's a fella who definitely got caught up in some other business in the show that he gonna divulge into if you don't remember. I don't want to give too much away, but this man's definitely a class act. He's definitely a brother that I have a lot of high regard and respect for him. Without any further introduction, y'all, we gonna get onto the show, man, with my main Charlie 344.
Oh, dude, that new intro is fire, bro.
Hey, we changed some things up in here since you last saw you.
Oh, it looks good, man. I love it.
Hey, man, thank you. I appreciate it. How you doing?
Oh shit, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything's things have gotten better. You know what I'm saying? Now that we can eat our own food, live our own lives. I don't feel like I'm in prison no more. Things are pretty
I,
good.
Definitely, man. I love to hear that. We look. I think it's nice to kind of get everything stripped away to appreciate what is we actually have and what we have accessibility to. So I definitely can co-sign with you on that, man. So it's been about a year since the show has finished airing. Like, how does that feel? Kind of knowing it's been a whole year since that.
Dude, this has been probably like the wildest year of my life since the show has ended. And it's a weird feeling because it feels like a year, but it feels like it's been longer than a year. Like the duality of time doesn't make any sense because it feels like it's been forever since we did the show. But then like you see somebody you haven't seen in a while and you're like, oh, it feels like we just did that yesterday.
No, for real. This year, everyone always says, "Oh, time flies, time flies." No, no, no. This year has been long and slow in a good way, but
Right.
then it feels like, yeah, like you said, talk to anyone Squid Game related, it's like, oh, it feels like it was yesterday. So definitely can relate to that aspect. And sometimes I can't believe it's been 2 years since we filmed because that doesn't seem like that long ago. Rather than the show airing, I'd say it feels like
Right.
honestly, it's been 2 years since the show. I don't know. It's just been a lot of stuff been going on this year with everyone. I noticed, and definitely, I can't believe it's been that this time last year we was all still watching the episodes come out and whatnot.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how's the year been? What's been going down with you since the show has been finished airing?
All right. So when I went into the show, my main motivation was to get one of my companies funded. That was the big motivator for winning the almost $5 million was to be able to fund myself. So since being in the show, just kind of went back down that path. I'm actually in my office/warehouse. So company got funded. We are, we're taking it to the next level. So it's been a lot of like growth and a lot of new stuff that like has never been done before. So since the show, things have just been on like a nice like uptick of growth. A lot of work, like just a lot of work. And when you say like, oh, it's been feeling slow, I was just saying like the last 3 months of my life has felt like an entire year. Like it's been so much going on that like the condensed amount of time feels like a long period of time. So we're doing what we can do and just hoping the year ends in a nice little finale.
Oh, definitely. I'm excited. I'm excited. Can you get into kind of the details of kind of some of the things that you've been going on since January?
Man, so honestly, for me, it's mainly been business and a move. So I used to live in St. Louis, moved to Atlanta, got a whole new warehouse space. So one of my business is a product based business for cannabis users, so homegrown cannabis specifically. to help them dry and cure cannabis. So we're taking this product to a whole new level. Like when I started, when I was in Squid Games, I was just telling somebody today, I was literally like in a storage unit. You know what I'm saying? Like one that you can rent out, little door, no electricity, no nothing. That's how we got it started. And like now we have like a huge facility. We're constantly running product in and out of the country, and like it's just like super exciting. So things are things are good, man.
That's pretty lit. Is it one of those how you have all the plant? You grow the plants there too. I'm assuming yes.
So no, we don't do anything with weed or marijuana at all. We're purely what you would call picks and shovels, so just tools. And we focus on the drying aspect. So drying and curing cannabis. The company is actually called Dry Tents. Um, so
Okay.
you use a tent. I could get into all the specifics because I love it, but essentially we use what's called negative pressure. We suck air out of the tent instead of like blowing directly on the bud. So it kind of creates like this suction area, and it just dries better than how people just hang it up in a closet, or you know,
Oh, okay.
it preserves terpenes. It's just like it's a whole better thing. I could I could show you a tent later, but yeah, man, it's been a crazy ride.
That's lit. That's lit. Do those things have like the LED fluorescent lights inside of them or no?
So you can see the lights behind me. That's actually like my branding color. But when you dry, you want it to be completely dark. So after you've chopped the plant, weirdly enough, after you've chopped them off, they don't die. So if there was any light to get in, you actually would have the plant continue to grow, and it would like kind of mess up the process. So in our situation, it's like completely dark so that they can like, start losing the moisture and start becoming what's like an actual finished product. But we don't do any growing. We don't even handle any product. It's basically, like I said, picks and shovels.
Okay, that's pretty dope. I've never knew that. I'd like to learn. I mean, I'm a pro cannabis, over here, and so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know about these things going down just because I'm always fascinated in that aspect in that world and whatnot.
yeah, man.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. So like I said already, it's been a year since it passed. We've had a lot of time to look at everything since the dust has settled. How do you kind of reflect and look back on the show and everything that kind of transpired now?
Um, yeah, I mean, the reflection, honestly, is it's in my day to day. I still have friends from the show that I interact with literally every day. I have best friends that are still like that show. We called it trauma bonding, right? But we are completely bonded. And looking back at it, like you said, it's been 2 years, but it feels like an eternity that I know these people. So there's nothing I'm more thankful for this show, dude. Not only has it like literally changed my life, but it's also brought amazing people into my life. And like, yeah, dude, it's been badass. Now, in the actual reflection of the show, if I think about it and take my mind there, I didn't have fun. Like that shit was like really difficult, dude. Like the lack of food for me was probably like the biggest. Just because like I'm hungry all the time. I mean, you know what it was. So if I really reflect, like it was tumultuous. Red light, green light was really hard. It was some of like the hardest things I've ever done, but totally worth it. So if anybody wants to do the second show, like you totally should.
Who's some of the people that you kind of keep in touch with the most from the show?
So if you remember the star scenario, right? There was three. You remember. You remember. You remember. I know you know. But one of my boys who was literally in front of me in line, his name was Hikmat. He also got out. I'm close with Hikmat. I'm close with Rob. Rob was the police officer on the show. Of course, my boy Brad. I just had Thanksgiving with him and his family, so we still like that. You know what I'm saying? Chad's good. I've seen him in Miami a couple times. There's like a whole long list, but it's been amazing.
That's excellent. Shout out to all those people. Those are good brothers right there and whatnot. Um, I still need to see Hick, man. Nah, we cool, we cool. But yeah, no, it's excellent. I mean, yeah, I can agree. It's kind of you know, a lot of people, I keep in touch with a decent amount of people from the show too. I know I saw you at Chad's birthday this year, so that was
Yep.
pretty dope. But yeah, it's kind of wild how just that short period of time, you know, you can make these lifelong connections. You know, it's insane because I know we all went into the show thinking like, okay, we all told the people, the casting directors, we're not gonna worry about anybody. I'm worried about myself. I'm not here for no friends. And then we happen to make these really close bonds, which is kind of funny compared to our mindset going into it. And I just
Oh, dude, my submission tape was I will be your villain, and then I was completely the opposite. Well, I mean, I might have done a little stuff, but not as villainous as I portrayed myself in my submission tape, though.
yeah, no, it's I guess it's easy for us to talk a big game and then we get in there and like, damn, like we all people at the end of the day. And I think if you can't win the money, which is almost impossible to do, then the second best thing is to come out with the good relations and positive people outside of the show. And kind of that was my another motive of mine was to make connections, positive connections, not really sort of business related, but also life. You know, like that's more important to kind of carry you along because we can't do it ourselves.
Absolutely. And plus, these people know you, so like, it is kind of a networking thing. It does turn into further relationships, and you don't know how they're gonna literally bloom or budding relationships.
Yeah, you never know. Some big impacts can be made from these. I mean, if it wasn't for, I mean, I wouldn't be doing a lot of the things if it wasn't for Squid Game for me. But I'd say for somebody I met like Rex, if you remember Rex, he lives in LA, and I wouldn't have went to like what I got the USC Penn State game earlier this year. That
Oh,
game was
nice.
lit. I wouldn't have went there with him. I would have went to visit LA still because my family's out there, but he's came out to New York several times. You know, we've done some cool things and whatnot. Um, you know, Chad and all his stuff down in Miami, his part birthday and whatnot. So like a whole bunch of cool things, I'd say. Um, when it comes to the show, as we know, the real Squid Game season 2 is about to come out. Are you anticipating watching that?
Oh, dude, yeah. I think everybody's excited for that. We've been waiting for the original OG show to drop forever. And more importantly, though, probably for us, we want to know what games the other people are going to be playing. So, like, it's a two-part thing for us because once we see the show, we're going to be like, oh, you guys are screwed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think they're doing red light, green light again from the previews.
Okay.
Should be interesting
Yeah, I
because
haven't seen anything yet, actually.
you
So,
haven't. Okay.
no, I just know it's coming.
Yeah, I think the previews are doing red light, green light again.
Okay.
Spoiler if you haven't seen the
It
trailer.
makes sense. It's going to chop down more than half of the community. So,
Oh yeah,
makes sense.
you got to. So it's interesting how they do it. My big thing is like I'm questioning why the main guy would go back and do it again. That's my question because he should have won the money. Therefore,
Right.
he could have taken care of his stuff, but then he might want to. I think he wants to break down the system because he's trying to be like the humanitarian and help the people and whatnot. That's
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: would you do red light, green light again? Like, you beat it once, but do you think you have the mental fortitude to do it twice?
I mean, if it was like a prize, sure.
No, there's definitely a prize.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, look, that it was miserable, and I definitely surprised I didn't get sick. That's the biggest surprise from it.
right, it was super
But yeah,
cool.
I think if the opportunity was there, sure. I don't. It's hard to. It would be hard to say no, just because the feeling of finishing it really felt like you won an Olympic gold medal.
Right.
I haven't felt that since probably I was playing college football. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just a feeling that you can't replicate easily in everyday life.
Absolutely.
So that's my thing. What about you? Would you do that again?
Man, I don't know. I have this feeling that like I was so in the zone at that time that my ego might be like I can do it and then like lose. I don't know. I don't want to say that would be the potential, but I just remember that being like very mental game, and because we were already in it, like you just had to do it. I think knowing what it is going in, you might just be like, I'm tired.
No, definitely. I think
Because you're like, I don't know if I have 10 hours in my legs. You know what I mean? Because we did it the first time, like you didn't know how much time. Time was irrelevant. Now that you're like the potential for 10 hours, it's just like a mind game.
yeah, true. Go in there and also it could be like, oh, you could be like, oh, I got this as well, and then you're just like, nah.
Yep.
And the time
Sneeze and
limit
trip
too.
or some shit.
Yeah, you could get a little cocky as well. Just we've done it once, I could do it again, and then boom, like something happened. Because there's plenty of
Right.
times I thought I was probably gonna get out, but I didn't get out. So, I don't know that you mentioned that now. Look, I don't know. Maybe I just
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know, dude. It was vicious. What wave did you get out?
I was done like the third group.
Okay, but still like 5 hours ish minimum, right?
I mean, at least 8. I think it was still 8.
Okay. Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a while, but
I made it on the second. I couldn't do it no more.
look, I was gonna wait till the 4th, but then someone next to me is like, "Let's just finish it now." I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to mess up like cross late. But then they're like, just do it. I don't know. You might get out after that, and I couldn't handle it anymore. I said, if I get out, I get out. So I said,
Yeah.
let's go. Whew, yeah. Every time I step outside, and it's cold, I get flashbacks.
Oh, I
I
bet.
start getting them. It's just nonstop. That's all I ever think about, especially now when it's cold again, and I'm already over it. So is there any we kind of spoke about this earlier. You said that you might not want to do red light, green light again. If Squid Game asked you to say, hey, do you want to do season 2? Would you do it?
Oh yeah. No, dude, 100%. Are you kidding me? We already look. Knowing what you have to go through is part of the mental game. So like, that really wouldn't be a problem. Like that this is only going to last for this amount of time. So we're going to do it. And then you get an opportunity to meet even more people, and you get a second shot at the prize. Like, I'm all in. If I had the time. I don't really have the time to do it now, but if I had the time and they didn't make me go through a bunch of shit and they were like, we're gonna put you on, yeah, I'm there, bro.
Okay. Well, the producers are watching the show. You need to call this man and make sure that you fit in his schedule.
Right. Yeah. I'll tell you when we can shoot this.
Yeah, he'll let you know what time he got. That's time y'all need to move it around, coach. And so, like you said, a lot of good things have came from the show, but is there any kind of, I guess, I don't want to say negative, but like not like things that you came from or you did from the show or came from the show or about the show that wasn't like so positive? Like whether you was in the show, outside of like the food, or that you just like afterwards you just look back and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth besides the fact of you not winning.
Nah, man. I think, look, I represented myself the best that I could, knowing that we were on camera the whole time. And the way that they edited it, like, they didn't make me look bad at all. I'm just happy I was in it as much as I was, to be able to be like, oh, I'm standing in the background right over there. And I got a little bit of FaceTime, so that's cool. Nothing, yeah, no backlash. I mean, I got a couple like cool people who hit me up that are maybe like pseudo fans that like really enjoyed the show. So yeah, I didn't get like any bad publicity or anything negative from it. It was all good. And look, any press is good press, so I would have spun it anyways. So we're good.
Big facts. And so, okay, well, I want to play a quick little game with you.
Oh shit! Okay, let's go.
And this game is going to be, I'm going to mention a player from the game, and you got to tell me what comes to your mind when you think of these players.
Okay. Are you doing numbers or are you doing their names? Because I don't think I know anybody's numbers.
I'll do both.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start out with our friend, Mr. 432 Brighton.
Brighton. Oh, man. I had to bite my tongue because I was going to say dickhead. But there it is.
Say what you need. Brian. Okay, that's it. Okay, quick. Okay.
Is that the only character? Was there supposed to be more? I thought it was just like the one and done.
You can say what you need to say. I'm not doing the one word game, but say what
okay. He was a dick. I don't know. But he knew what he was doing. He played the character. Like it got him where he needed to be. So I can't hate on him for it. But it's cool.
Okay. What about our friend, Mr. 299 Spencer.
Oh, crybaby. I'm doing the one word thing.
Okay, we can stick with the one word. That's fine. We'll stick with that. What about our friend Mr. 301 Trey?
Who?
Trey, the son from the mother son.
Oh, he's a sweet boy.
Okay, sweet
All right,
boy,
keep doing the
sweet
one.
boy.
No, yeah, Trey's cool, man. I think he was great. He was super nice.
What about Mr. Runner Up Phil 451?
Oh, Phil, man, he was a sweet man too, dude. That guy was so genuine and nice. I have nothing bad to say about Phil. He beat Brad though, but if he didn't beat Brad, then me and Brad probably wouldn't be as close of friends as we are. So shout out to Phil, bro.
What about our friend Mr. 204 Dan?
Dan's the man, dude. I love Dan. I've gone to a couple of his events. Super wholesome dude. Great family man. Like from Jersey. I love Dan, man.
Okay, how about 278 Felicia?
She cool too, man. She a little badass. I've only seen her like a handful of times, but I can't hate on anything she did, man. Because I wasn't there. It didn't affect me, and she had to do what she had to do. So, yeah, man. Shout out to her.
How about our friend, I can't remember his number, but Mr. Steven Lomas?
Who's that?
Mr. Gambu Gang, the mullet.
Oh, Steve. Steve got a juicy booty. That's all I remember. That motherfucker got cheeks, bro.
It's funny when I met him. He's from Kansas City. I'm from Kansas City, so we kind of bonded over that. But I'm like, okay, it's like, what do you do outside of the show? And he said, oh, I do like Instagram and whatnot. And I was like, okay, like, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, I'm famous for my ass. And I was like, huh? And so I looked, and it's just like we had the sweats on, so it's like it's not as prominent as it normally is under the sweats. And I was like, oh, you're like, it's not that big to me. I said,
Right. Then you
like,
saw
oh,
social media and you're like, damn.
he's like, just meet me in the bathroom. I was like, okay. I was like, I'll take your word for it. Gosh. Okay. How about our friend Miss Champion Mai?
Oh, Mai is fantastic. And a warrior, dude. I mean, what was the game where they put the boxes? I don't know
Circle
what.
of Trust.
Yes, dude, Circle of Trust. When I saw that, I didn't see that coming because I know Mai personally, and she was super sweet in the game. At one particular point, I mean, you know what? I think she was playing me now that I think about it because she said she was gonna quit, and I was like, you don't do that. You've made it this far, but she might have been playing me, man, because I saw the Ruthless come out in that game. But yeah, dude, shout out to her. Major congratulations. Again, in at that far of the level, like you got to do what you got to do, and she played the game so well that she deserves it.
Facts. We'll do a couple more. How about our friend, or the leader of the Squid, well, the leader of the Squid Game, Mr. TJ Stooks?
Stoops. Oh man, I just hear Chad saying, "Not my leader." That's what I think of. TJ was always, jumping out to be the forefront, and I like TJ. He's cool, but yeah, that always cracks me up when Chad says that.
Shout out to TJ. They need their own show together. And lastly, we'll say, how about your fellow beard brother, Mr. 16, third place Sam?
Oh, Sam, man, Sam is awesome. I'm glad that it was me and him. There's no bad blood there. Like he just beat me. You know what I mean? And it was a gentleman's game, and it was very cordial, and I enjoyed that experience. And I honestly I was hoping he would win because he's like, if it's not me, I'm hoping it was him, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, that was the last one you saw before the lights came on, the lights turned off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And you barely see me die in a bush. So that was my highlight, is me being like, no.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Because people are like, when did you get out? And I'm like, you see that little part right? That's me in a tree.
I'm dying. Well, Chase, that was, or Mr. Charlie Chase. I call you Charlie or Chase. Which one you go by?
Well, bro, you can call me anything you want. I got so many nicknames, dude. Whatever you like. I mean, I got two first names essentially, so whatever flows
I
out.
always, I always want to call you Chase, but then I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, it's not Chase, it's
that's what
Charlie.
like high school friends call me.
Like people from high school and college call my last name Mackenzie, like Mackenzie, but nobody in like after that calls me that. So
Would you play sports? I'm assuming.
yeah. I played
Yeah,
football.
you
So.
know your name's on the back of the jersey, so that's what everybody is.
Facts. Well, this was great, my man. Is there anything that you want to say to the people? Is any message you want to get out there? Any words before we get up on out of here?
Man, honestly, just I appreciate the fact that you guys like the show so much and that you follow us and that you guys like the fans are like really cool. Like nobody's been like a hater. I don't think there was a lot of backlash. I mean, I heard a couple things on some people that maybe wasn't the best, but in general, the community here like is fantastic. So we appreciate the support. And like, it's been an amazing ride.
Definitely. And is there any advice you would give anyone if they are going to participate or want to participate in season 2?
Okay. Probably the biggest advice would be I'm going to give you a little tip that I did before I went in, and I think it was very beneficial. I also think it's very beneficial for life. But I worked with a hypnotist coach, and I learned how to hypnotize myself. And it was very helpful in rough scenarios, especially like red light, green light, because this game is way more mental than physical. So that's my little tidbit or a little tip and trick, but you know, see if that works for anybody.
Oh, I like it. I mean, there was very little physical play in there, very little. So I 100% agree. Maybe they'll bring tug of war back in the real
Maybe
in the
that'd be cool.
challenge Squid Game.
I gotta think too if like I don't I would have to talk to a nutritionist, but I don't know if like limiting food intake before is a good idea or a bad idea. You know what I mean? Because there's not going to be a lot of food. That's going to be very very important. So
Yeah, I think best would be to, if you eat a lot, try to like portion out your foods, like ration yourself a certain amount of calories per day. I'd say go down to like 600, and
yeah,
that's probably even too much then. So
and eat dirt because that's what it's going to taste like.
yes, eat dirt. Go to bed hungry.
Yeah.
Online. I mean, hey, maybe you can practice sneaking, stealing extra fans of food and not getting caught. Who knows? Try
Right,
whatever.
right. Yeah. Just do you, man. Just do whatever you feel called to do.
Facts. Well, Charlie, this was great, man. I love getting to talk to you. Hope we get to see you soon. Hopefully, I can make it down to Atlanta sometime for some event going down. I'll be going to all the little events, and
Yeah, man.
I'm happy that you're doing well, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get to talk.
Hell yeah, dude. I appreciate the time. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. And to everybody else, thanks y'all for joining. Peace, blessings, deuces, and as always, have a great rest of your day.